Well, Sean, what we do know is that trooper who was involved in that crash near Bonneville this afternoon, or this morning, I should say, was brought here to Carle Hospital where he is listed in serious condition. We don't know any other information on his condition, but we do know the Illinois State Police intend to hold a news conference between 4:30 and 5. And where we are, we're not able to show you the emergency room area right now because of patient privacy, but there is a very large number of Illinois State Police officers, along with the Urbana Police, Champaign Police Department, who have gathered here at the hospital. And then just here on University, which is 150, there are other law enforcement officers who have lined up in the center lane, including fire trucks, police cars here. We are, again, waiting that news conference between 4:30 and 5. Again, that trooper was brought here around 4:30, 5 o'clock tonight, and that's when that news conference will be. And we are continuing to get more information and pass that along to you as soon as we get it. But for now, we are live in Champaign tonight. Chris Carter, WAND News. Sean, it was an emotional moment here for Illinois State Police Director Brendan Kelly, who announced the death of Trooper Todd Hennigan, who died this morning in that single vehicle crash in Route 10 near Bonneville. We are told that his vehicle somehow left the roadway, hit a power pole, and then crashed into another tree. They do not believe there's anything suspicious about that crash. They are investigating the possible cause of that crash. They're also looking into any situations, medical-wise or anything like that, that might have happened with Trooper Hennigan. He was a dedicated veteran of the police force. I believe we have a picture of him from about a year ago when Director Kelly actually gave him a Medal of Honor. Trooper Hennigan was honored for jumping onto the hood of a burning car to save an IDOT worker who was trapped in that burning car. That award was issued about a year and a half ago. Director Kelly told us today that this was a family affair. His father was a retired Illinois State Trooper. We also know that he was dedicated to his work. They called him Happy. That was his nickname. But this crash does remain under investigation right now. Illinois State Police crash reconstruction team is going to be trying to figure out what caused this crash. But there is nothing suspicious about this. It was a single car crash that killed the trooper who had been with the force for several years now. He leaves behind a wife and 2 kids. His wife also works for the Illinois Department of Public Health. Brendan Kelly, the director of Illinois State Police, said today during this news conference that just wrapped up less than 5 minutes ago that they are offering resources to District 10, but this is a very hard day. He says their hearts are broken, but their spirits are not. He says having their spirits broken would be something that Trooper Hennigan would not want. Obviously, a very tragic day here for Illinois State Police after this crash near Bonneville this morning. We're going to bring you more information about Trooper Hennigan coming up tonight on our news at 6 and, of course, tonight at 10. But for now, we are live in Champaign. Chris Carter, WAND News.
State Police showing support for one of their own who has died in the line of duty. We'll be right back.
Well, Sean, it was a very sad day here in Postodam for the Illinois State Police District 10, where Trooper Todd Hennigan worked out of. During a news conference today, Director Brendan Kelly described him as a man who dedicated his entire life to giving back to the community. His nickname here was known as Happy. I want to show you a picture of Trooper Hennigan. This is just from about a year and a half ago when he was given a Medal of Honor award for saving a man's life. Trooper Kelly says that, Director Kelly says that Trooper Hennigan had given his entire life to the Illinois State Police. His father was a retired Illinois State Trooper. He dedicated his life to making sure that this community was safe. He died in an on-duty crash today. Now, earlier this afternoon, dozens of Illinois State Police officers and troopers had lined outside the Carle Hospital in Champaign, where his body was taken, and that's where he ultimately died. He was in serious condition when he was taken there. He died around 11:45 today. Troopers escorted his body then out of the hospital. Lines of cars along University Avenue there in Champaign. He was described as a man who would do anything for anyone. He leaves behind a wife and 2 children. Trooper Kelly describes him this way about the legacy that he will leave behind.
Our hearts are broken today, but our spirit is not. To allow our spirit to be broken, to give into the darkness around us, would be to dishonor what Todd and his family stand for. We will honor him. We will honor his life of service and the service and sacrifice of his family.
And one thing that Director Kelly also said during the news conference today is that Todd was someone who would do anything for anyone. His wife also works for the Illinois Department of Public Health. He says this family is a family who is dedicated to their community and the state that they live in. Reporting live in Pasota, Chris Carter, WAND News. Well, Don, it is a very dark day for Illinois law enforcement and Illinois State Police. It is a day that no law enforcement officer ever wants to have to go through. But those who nicknamed Trooper Todd Hannigan Happy are doing what he would want, and they are still out patrolling the streets tonight.
It is with profound heartache and sadness that we inform you the death of Illinois State Police District 10 Trooper Todd Hannigan.
A final call for a fallen hero.
Badge number 5213.
Trooper Todd Hannigan, a father, a husband, a son, a brother, killed in the line of duty.
And thank God for men like Todd. Thank God for people like the Hannigan family.
It was around 10:30 Thursday morning when Trooper Hannigan's squad car left the road, hit a pole, and crashed into a tree. He would die 1 hour later at Carl Hospital, surrounded by those he served with.
This is a sad moment. We are hurting. Todd's family is hurting badly today.
The son of a retired state trooper, Hannigan was a man who would risk it all. In late 2019, Illinois State Police Director Brendan Kelly awarded him a Medal of Honor for jumping onto a burning car to save a man trapped inside.
He did not like to brag about this award. He did not like the spotlight.
Illinois State Police don't know why Trooper Hannigan's car left the road. The accident reconstruction team is searching for answers as those who worked side by side with him continue to cope with a broken heart, but not spirit.
To allow our spirit to be broken, to give into the darkness around us, would be to dishonor what Todd and his family stand for.
The father of two leaves behind a community he loved, one now grieving a loss hard to understand.
The process of grieving and the trauma and the scars that will be with them for their entire career come from days like this.
Please keep the Hannigan family in your thoughts and prayers. Authority Director Kelly. State Police Sterling, 79.
Now a procession took Trooper Hannigan's body from Carl Hospital. That procession was miles long. The funeral arrangements have not been announced. We're live tonight. Chris Carter, WAND News. At Illinois 121 in Main Street, Mount Zion dressed itself in red, white, and blue.
He put everyone else before him, and he wanted everyone to smile.
Blue, in honor of a fallen state trooper, his wife, and two sons. Trooper Todd Hannigan, a husband and father who always put others first.
He would help anyone. He made me a better man to have known him. He made us all better people, and we're all lost without him.
Grief and broken hearts on display as silence sets the tone. The community lining the streets, American flags flying, a symbol of respect for a man who died in the line of duty.
He's the good of what you should see in police and volunteers and humans.
Friends of Trooper Hannigan, those like Dickie Trump, standing tall for a man who, despite his strong build, was known simply as Happy. As each car passes this crowd, memories of Hannigan pass too. Memories like Trooper Hannigan's time coaching youth sports.
Todd would say many times, "I don't know what I'm doing," but he'd stand out there and we fixed diamonds, and he would just be the muscle or do whatever was asked because he wanted to give kids the opportunities.
Those who gathered here on this somber day did so with a purpose.
Todd would have been here for any of us.
A moment of reflection for a fallen hero who brought a community together.
We need to recognize people like him who just care about other people.
A trooper following the road home one last time. Trooper Todd Hannigan was 45 years old. He was a 20-year veteran of the Illinois State Police. Hannigan is survived by his wife, his two sons, and his parents, including his father, a retired state trooper. Live in the studio tonight, Chris Carter, WAND News. Under gray skies, a mood hard to describe. These now empty streets will soon be lined with flags and full of onlookers.
I think it's a great show of community and spirit for showing the support for him and stuff.
People like Terry Kinney coming out to show their support to a man who died in the line of duty. The owner of Mount Zion's Kinney's Ace Hardware selling small American flags to be placed along the route Trooper Todd Hannikin's body will travel as the community gathers to say its final goodbye.
Well, he's given up his life for us and stuff, and I think it's a very big honor for him and everything, and an honor for us to have him supporting us all the time.
2,000 flags will be placed along the route, a mission to carry on the legacy of Larry the Flagman, a man who made it his goal to make sure American heroes were given a proper farewell, the mission impossible without the public's help. Which is why those organizing the flagging hope hundreds will line these streets to place a piece of American patriotism. 1,029 miles away from that mission, a young boy running 1 mile for every fallen first responder, Zechariah Cartledge took to the track in honor of Trooper Hannikin Monday.
First responders are true heroes, and if it takes a kid for people to realize that our first responders are truly incredible, that I will continue doing it.
Cartledge's mile-long mission is to show Trooper Hannikin's family, friends, and fellow officers that people care, even strangers.
I hope they just find comfort through the run and through everybody else supporting him.
They are two people in two states, but they have one mission. To honor a fallen hero for one final time with a parade of color, even in the darkest of times. Now, that young boy running in honor of fallen first responders has ran 860 miles. That's 860 fallen first responders he has ran for. Anyone wishing to help line the streets of Mount Zion with flags in honor of Trooper Hannikin are asked to gather here at 3:30 tomorrow. This is the Mount Zion Intermediate School. Sean, we're told that first responders, including police and firefighters, will be helping put those flags out tomorrow. Well, Don, more than 2,000, up to 3,000 flags will line the streets of Mount Zion once these volunteers are done. They are still out putting up the flags. You can see some of them back here behind me right now. The flags are being placed along the route that the procession for Trooper Hannikin will take. And dozens of people gathered to put up these flags, as you can see in this video here. A few hundred people took part in putting up the flags in honor of Trooper Hannikin. All 2,000 flags were provided by the group The Flagman Mission Continues, which was started by Larry Eckhart to honor fallen heroes. His friend now continues the tradition after Eckhart died 1 year ago to the day yesterday. His friend says it's a way for the community to honor fallen first responders.
To give the community a way to show their support. We bring the tools, we bring the flags, we bring the equipment and instructions, and it's a community project, and it's a way for the community and the citizens of a fallen heroes community to show respect, because they want to do something. They want to get involved. They just don't know how, so we give them opportunity to do that. And when we get this many volunteers, it means the community cares.
Now, the community is also being asked to line that procession route as Trooper Hannikin makes his final ride through town to the cemetery where he will be buried. Then on Friday, these same volunteers are being asked to come back out and pick up the flags that are being placed here. We are along Route 30 right now where those flags are being put out, and I'm actually going to just step out of the way as this group makes its way past us carrying these flags that they are putting out in honor of Trooper Hannikin. You can see this happening right now as they are continuing to walk through and put these flags up in honor along Route 30 here in Mount Zion. Of course, we will continue to cover this story and have live team coverage coming up tonight at 6. We are live in Mount Zion tonight. Chris Carter, WAND News. Well, Don, several hundred people gathered here in Mount Zion to take part in this flagging in honor of Trooper Todd Hannikin. And as you can see, flags line multiple streets. There are several thousand flags for several miles. It is the route that Trooper Hannikin's procession will take. Now, these volunteers came from all over the state to make sure Hannikin's hometown was painted in red, white, and blue. Putting up these flags is a way for the community to take part in honoring the fallen trooper. The Flagman's mission continues, provided the flags and poles so those who wish to take part in placing flags could do so.
People want to pay their respects, they want to do something, but they don't know how. So what we do is we bring them the tools, we bring them the flags, we bring them the instructions, and it's their mission. They're the ones setting up flags. We're not the ones doing it. You know, they're the ones setting them up, the ones taking them down, and they're the ones showing the respect for the fallen hero.
Now the community is asked to gather here on the streets as Trooper Hannikin's procession makes its way by tomorrow. His funeral is at 10 a.m. And then on Friday, volunteers are asked to come back out here to take down these 2,000 flags. We are live in Mount Zion tonight. Chris Carter, WAND News. Sean, between 200 and 300 people filled the streets of Mount Zion today to put up these American flags in honor of Trooper Todd Hannikin. More than 2,000 of them lined the streets. It is a simple yet a powerful way to show they care. A town covered in pride, patriotism, and honor.
I'm here to honor a fallen hero.
A community honoring fallen Illinois State Trooper Todd Hannikin with thousands of American flags.
Tears come to my eyes because my heart is so overwhelmed to see the support.
Each flag placed by the hands and hearts of volunteers, those like Gwen Schaefer, who showed up for the family of Trooper Hannikin and his fellow officers.
And to give them strength.
The daughter of a retired state trooper herself, Gwen watched her own father grieve the loss of colleagues. And as she places each flag, she looks beyond and recognizes the loss they feel.
I hear it in her voice. I see it in their face. No matter how many years go by, you never forget. And their dedication and their honor, and they want to make the country a better place.
The 2,000 plus flags placed over several miles will stand tall as Trooper Hannikin's procession carries him to his final resting spot. They were donated by the Flagman's Mission Continue. Started by a man who made it his mission.
It's my honor to be here, privilege to be here.
To get communities involved in honoring the fallen.
It's a way for the community and the citizens of a fallen heroes community to show respect because they want to do something.
The mission behind these flags, though, is more than just a sign of solidarity for people like Schaefer.
Be strong, have faith in God, and I truly believe that our loved ones look down from heaven and see how strong we are because we have strength from them.
A community wrapping its arms around a grieving family. Now the community is asked to line the streets of Mount Zion, holding flags tomorrow as Trooper Hannikin's procession makes its way to the cemetery. The flags that were put up here today will come down on Friday. Anyone who would like to volunteer to take them down on Friday can find that information on our website. Reporting live in Mount Zion, Chris Carter, WAND News. Well, Nikki, I think there are two words to describe what we saw here today: somber and patriotic. We saw law enforcement from all over the country here coming out to pay their respects to Trooper Hannikin, as far away as Texas, Colorado, even Missouri here to pay those respects to Trooper Hannikin as his family said their final goodbyes. I want to show you some video from just about 10 minutes ago as they brought Trooper Hannikin's body out of the intermediate school here and put him in the casket. He was followed by dozens of Illinois State Police officers who were there to honor him, to show the family that they support him. This has been a very somber and emotional day here in Mount Zion. This town has really come out and shown its absolute most support for this fallen trooper who, as you just said, is described as happy, someone who put others before himself. Something that I heard from a lot of the law enforcement here today is that when one officer falls, they all mourn. And that's why we saw so many different departments from across this country coming out to show their support. Now, Trooper Hannikin's body is making its way to the cemetery where he will be laid to rest. That is towards the center of town. It's a 12-mile procession route being taken through Mount Zion, Long Creek, and then back down into town so the public can also pay its support to Trooper Hannikin. We do have Madison O'Brien along that route. Madison, we know that the procession just passed you there near Baltimore and Main Street. Yeah, Nikki, we are at the Mount Zion Fire Department, which is at 121 and Main Street. As the procession makes its way by, I'm just going to step out of the way and I'm going to just stop talking for just a moment so you can take in exactly what is happening here in Mount Zion. And as you guys can see here, this procession for Trooper Todd Hannikin is making its last leg of this 12-mile journey to the cemetery where he will be buried. This is a very long procession. There are hundreds of police and law enforcement and firefighters who are taking part in this procession to honor his legacy. I'm going to have our photographer Nathan kind of spin the camera around here just a little bit. I want to show you something that is a very poignant moment here. You can see 3 Decatur Ambulance Service paramedics who have lined this street. They are saluting this procession as it makes its way by here. Trooper Hannikin was described as a happy man. That was his nickname, Happy. And they all tell me that they are out here to pay their respects to him. This procession is continuing and it has been going on for about an hour now. It will make its way to the cemetery here where Trooper Hannikin will be laid to rest. We do know that we have officers as far away from Texas and Colorado taking part in this procession. Again, this is all in honor of Todd Hannikin, who died last Thursday, 1 week ago today, in a single car crash just outside of Bonneville. You can still see that very long procession here. We're continuing to follow this procession throughout Mount Zion as it goes on. We do have several photographers and our own Madison O'Brien on the other side here, and we will, of course, bring you live team coverage as we continue to get it. But for now, we are live in Mount Zion. Chris Carter, WAND News. Well done. Law enforcement from all over the country showed up to line these streets of Mount Zion to pay their respects to fallen Trooper Todd Hannikin, his family, and his colleagues. And we know that law enforcement from as far away as Colorado and Texas were here for his final journey home.
Happy, may you rest in peace knowing your love lives on through your wife and children. Your kindness lives on through your community. Thank you for your service. Illinois State Police Trooper Todd Hannikin, ID 5213, UR 1042.
And that was the final call made after Trooper Hannikin was laid to rest today. The trooper of more than 2 decades leave behind a wife, a kid, and his parents. His father was a retired state trooper. A 12-mile procession of all those officers escorted the trooper's body to his final resting spot this morning. Illinois State Police say they are overwhelmed with the outpouring of support the Mount Zion community has shown them.
The entire community has been very supportive of the Illinois State Police in this very difficult time. I ask that you continue to respect the privacy of the Hannikin family as they grieve.
Now, we do know that the Illinois State Police Honor Guard provided the Hannikin family with a flag in his honor. The cause of the crash is still under investigation. We're live in Mount Zion tonight. Chris Carter, WAND News. Are somber yet patriotic. Hundreds of law enforcement officers turned out from around the country to pay their respects to Trooper Todd Hannikin before he was buried here at the Mount Zion Township Cemetery.
Experience District 10, 1042 check. X71, Sodom. X71, Sodom. X71, not responding.
One final call.
X71, Trooper Todd Hannikin, ID 5213, ended his watch Thursday, March 25th, 2021. Trooper Todd Hannikin, you have ended your tour of duty here.
For a fallen hero. Hundreds standing at attention in honor of Illinois State Trooper Todd Hannikin for his final journey home.
This is obviously an unexpected loss, but the Illinois State Police are a resilient organization, resilient people. It's a strong agency, strong department, and we will get through this.
A procession 12 miles long for a man simply known as Happy, who brought a community together. A town dressed in red, white, and blue for a man who always showed his true colors, putting others before himself.
The entire community has been very supportive of the Illinois State Police in this very difficult time. I ask that you continue to respect the privacy of the Hannikin family as they grieve.
A community now left with memories of a hero who gave all for the community he loved.
Happy, may you rest in peace knowing your love lives on through your wife and children. Your kindness lives on through your community. Thank you for your service. Illinois State Police Trooper Todd Hannikin, ID 5213, UR 1042.
Something powerful to listen to there. Trooper Hannigan leaves behind his wife, his children, and his parents. His father is a retired Illinois State Trooper. We're live in Mount Zion tonight. Chris Carter, WAND News. Just a very sad day here in Mount Zion. Trooper Hannigan had been with the Illinois State Police for more than 2 decades, and the sacrifice that he made was clearly evident today by the hundreds who showed up to pay their respects. There was a steady flow of people walking into the Mount Zion Intermediate School where his funeral was held. Some of them law enforcement. We know first responders from as far away as Texas, Colorado, Missouri. They attended the emotional event today. As Trooper Hannigan's colleagues, friends, and his family said their final goodbyes today, the department he served for so long honored his legacy.
Experience District 10, 1042 check. X71, DeSoto. X71, DeSoto. X71, not responding. Illinois State Police Units, X71 Trooper Todd Hannigan, ID 5213, ended his watch Thursday, March 25, 2021. Trooper Todd Hannigan, you have ended your tour of duty here. You will always be remembered as a loving husband, father, son, brother, and friend, as well as a dedicated trooper. We will always remember your infectious laugh and your tendency to put others before yourself. Your love and dedication to your family was unwavering and will never be forgotten.
And that was Trooper Hannigan's last call made on the scanners today. Trooper Hannigan leaves behind his wife, his kids, and his parents. His father is a retired Illinois State Trooper, and the Illinois State Honor Guard provided the family with a flag in his memory today. We're live in Mount Zion tonight. Chris Carter, WAND News.